that's a beautiful thing, because the enemy, like, of course, was trying to use that for evil, but my family came to Christ because of it.
I just felt like this like heart tug of just like, Jacob, I'm hurting for you, man.
I think the Lord gave me so much grace to do that, and so much grace He gave to my parents to receive it.
What would you tell to like those people that are like battling cancer and like their kids as well? Like, what would you tell them?
People turn away from God because they don't understand Him.
But I remember like telling my little sister that like one day we'll get out of this. Like one day, we're gonna be okay.
I think this is like a huge deal when you see somebody like beginning and how they are now and how much the Lord has changed them. It's like, dude, you cannot tell me there's not a God, bro.
I meet you, and I would have never thought that you went through all that.
I love my grandma. She really like prayed for us like a lot, And from that day, bro, like their life changed completely.
Said I was a Jesus follower, but in my heart I wasn't truly following any of his words. Kanye, we're praying for you, big dog. But anyway, that's my testimony. I hate GameStop. GameStop, do not sponsor us. I don't want a sponsor from you, GameStop. Welcome back to the Halfway Podcast, episode number 2. My name is Jacob. I'm joined alongside one of my good friends, Nick Guarneri, and one of my other good friends, Alex.
Yes, sir.
So last week was a handful of information that really just us talking, but we didn't really talk about ourselves at all. And I wanted to give us an opportunity today. Alex did too, but what if we talked about ourselves just a little bit? Starting with you, Nick. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you are on this podcast and just your life.
Well, I grew up here in Las Vegas, and my family's from New York, and they're certified yappers. So why not come on a podcast to yap? Because I love yapping. But Jacob kind of just came to me and was like, "Hey, bro, I kind of feel like the Lord's calling me." It's mad hot up here, by the way.
It is very hot. I'm gonna turn on the fan actually. Go ahead, continue.
He just felt like the Lord's calling him to start like a podcast or something like that, and so he asked me, and I was like, "Bro," my buddy Alex, me and him have been low-key been talking about that. So let me ask him. So I asked my buddy Alex, and he kind of said the same thing. So I was like, oh shoot, I think it's a good idea that we come up on here and just talk about our faith and talk about our life and stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
I don't know, what else do you guys want to know?
How did you come to Christ? Like,
yeah.
Oh shoot.
Is that a long story?
Dude, it's a long story for everybody, bro. I mean, that's why they're here. It's a.
Some people are like, I don't know, I just from birth.
From birth. It's still more than that though, bro.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I mean, I was raised Catholic like my whole life, and then it wasn't up until I was like 8 or 9, and my family started going to a Christian church, which was the school I was going to at the time. They have a church. I still go to that church. We love that church, called the Church of Lake Mead. And I went there to a private Christian school until I graduated. And then it wasn't until my senior year where I really felt like God was telling me to take my walk with him seriously. I remember talking to one of my teachers at the time, and I was telling him, like, dude, like when I graduate, like these guardrails are gonna be gone, and I don't really know how to nurture my own faith or how to grow with God like outside of school.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's gonna be a choice now, and I like really want that to still be there, but I like knew myself, and it wasn't gonna happen that way if I graduated and went to like just a normal college. But anyway, I applied to UNLV. Was going to UNLV, but I also applied to this private Christian school in California, which was way too much money, called Biola University. And it wasn't until like the very last week of school of my senior year, one of my buddies was feeling convicted by the Holy Spirit that I was going to the wrong school. And I prayed with him and a couple of my teachers, and I felt like the Lord was just calling me to Biola. So I told my parents when I came home as an 18-year-old kid, and I was like, hey, I'm going to the school, and if you guys disagree, I'm still going to go. And I think the Lord gave me so much grace to do that, and so much grace he gave to my parents to receive it, because if I was them, I'd be like, bro, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
And I think that's how my dad took it a lot, but my mom was super supportive. and a lot of my family didn't agree with it, but it was like,
I remember that time period. I remember when, because I was a sophomore, and I just remember like Melanie and Chris were just so ecstatic that you were going. Like I remember hearing about you, and little would I know, like we would be good friends afterwards. But dude, I remember that time period, and everybody's just so happy for you, like supporting you and stuff, which is good.
it was crazy because I didn't even know about that. Like I knew Chris was super supportive about it, and so was Melanie, but I would only see them like maybe a few times out of the year when I came back from school, just because I wasn't super active at church or anything. And I mean, the Lord definitely called me there. And
how did your parents like come to that? How did they go to that church? Like, who invited them to that church?
So my dad got cancer when I was about 8 or 9, and my parents didn't really take their faith seriously. I mean, they did, but like, I think there's so much room for them to like grow, and it is for like everybody. But I think the Lord was calling them to like a deeper faith, and so a lot of my mom also worked at this school, and then like the people she worked with were super like welcoming to them, especially trying to like get them to a Christian church and everything. And I think that's kind of what drew them, is just nobody at our Catholic church was like trying to help us or anything, but people like these at this Christian school was like paying for my school. Somebody like her boss paid for my school one year, and then like all these people were at my house all the time, like always praying for my dad. And then I think that's just how we just started going there at that point. I think they just saw that the faith at that specific church was just like so strong, so they just led them there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your mom was like working at the school, or she like how'd she get the job? Or
so she did it when they moved to Nevada, which was like a year before I was born. My mom didn't work at all, and she was like stay-at-home mom, and it wasn't until I was probably like 3 or 4, and she just like wanted to go back to work, I guess. And one of her friends, her kids went there and was like, hey, like go apply here. So she went and applied, and then she ended up starting like the nursery area with like the younger kids. And then by the time I was going there, she started in like the kitchen, and then she just stayed there the whole time so I could go to school. But yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of the kids that we went to school with, their parents worked there.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I went to school with, their parents were like working at the church or working at the school side or working at the wellness center. Like that's a lot of kids were on scholarship too, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, the kids that didn't have money, like to go there and couldn't afford it, like they were compensated and like taken care of to make sure that they could, go there in a good environment and stuff, which was really, really, really cool. So
they still do that a lot.
Yeah, they still do it a lot. They still do
super
it.
Cool.
They used to the football coaches that used to work there. They would always joke about like taking the kids in from around the country that like they wanted to go to the school to like play football or something like that. But it was also a little bit deeper than that too. Like, in all fairness, like, all of our coaches at the time were Christian, and they still like wanted to provide like a good like, housing situation for like kids that like wanted to play football. And like be like seen by like, other schools or whatnot. So there's a lot of like hospitality involved in that, and in the church and the school, which I will commend them for. There's a lot of hospitality behind it. But yeah, dude, that's cool. I love hearing your testimony.
Nick, you said you brought up how your dad had a cancer, right? How'd you deal with it? Like, I know it's like really tough to like have like a parent that has cancer and stuff. Yeah. But like, how'd you deal with it? How was your life?
I was super young, so I didn't really understand a lot, and I was scared most of the time. And I remember I have like this core memory that there was one time I was at the dentist, and I was getting like a cavity filled or something. They gave me like laughing gas, and I remember I was like leaving, and I was just like, I think like all like my raw emotions just like came out, and I was like, bro, I haven't seen my dad in like a few days. Like I miss him, and my mom was just like trying to get me to leave the office and stuff in the I remember seeing the people back there and they felt bad and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Were you like crying?
I was like bawling, bro.
Oh.
I was like, I miss my dad and everything. So I think we went and saw him afterwards, but
that's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
yeah, the Lord for sure saved him, dude. And I think that's like the reason for his faith, and that's a beautiful thing because the enemy, like, of course, was trying to use that for evil.
Yeah.
But my family came to Christ because of it, and my faith was like started, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
Because I ended up like going to that church and stuff. So.
Yeah.
What would you tell to like those people that are like battling cancer and like their kids as well? Like, what would you tell them?
I say look at Romans 8:28, and it says, I'm probably gonna butcher it, but I think it says yeah, just look it up, bro.
No, do it off memory. I'm gonna confirm whether or not.
Romans 8:20. It says, for those who love God, or no, the Lord works everything together for good, or something like that, for those who love Him.
When he's the book?
I used to remember. Remember it way better. He's looking it up on his phone.
Romans 8:28.
8:28, bro. It was like one of my favorite verses.
Yeah, it reads, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose for them.
Yeah, I just think that I know the Lord knows what He's doing, and He's so sovereign to the point that we'll never understand it. And I think if you put your trust in Him, not will you only speak life into your own life, but it would actually speak the life of Jesus and His light into people around you. So I think that's a huge thing, a huge way to like evangelize to people is when you're going through something like that.
Yeah.
And your spirit is so uplifted by the Holy Spirit that it just like pours over into people. It's like a huge way to evangelize people.
You said something that was really good there about His sovereignty is something that we'll never understand.
Yeah.
Like, people turn away from God because they don't understand Him. And that's scary for people. Like, their lack of understanding of just how like powerful and big God is like a kind of a reason why they aren't Christians, because they can't wrap their minds around it. They're not okay with, knowing every single thing. And like, I would just say that like you have to kind of let go of control of like how much knowledge you would like, how much you rely on your own knowledge. Like, I feel like that's just a way to, a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Of just, I don't understand something fully, so I'm just going to choose to turn away from it and not acknowledge it at all. But then you see things that God does and you're like, well, it's too obvious to, ignore. So I think people's lack of understanding, is like a wall and a barrier for them to know Christ.
Literally says that Proverbs says, do not lean on your own understanding.
Yeah, very true.
And it's just like, people don't, I don't know. I feel like people just trust themselves way too much.
Very true.
And the Bible literally like tells us straight up in so many verses that we're corrupt. Jeremiah 17:9.
Yeah.
It says our heart is deceitful above all things. So it's like, I think it's the first thing that people have to like understand or just accept is like, bro, I don't know everything.
True.
And once you go from there, it's so like you'll have crazy like level ups in your faith.
Yeah. I think deep down we're all like know-it-alls.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like that, bro.
Yeah. Deep down in every person, there's a know-it-all somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Ask this fool, bro. When I was at work, bro, like a few months ago, who is it? Somebody was like, "Oh, you're acting like one of our other coworkers," because like he would always like try to like be the lead, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
And I started doing that. Is when we were at the pool, I think Jesse said something. He was like, "Bro, you're acting like this guy," and I was like, "Oh shoot," because like every time somebody did something, I'm like, "No, I know better." I was like trying to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, what am I doing, bro? I like just work, dude."
What was that?
It was when we were at the mansions over at MGM.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I was like, "Oh shoot, dude, this guy's right, bro."
Yeah.
You say you're acting like somebody?
Yeah.
Alex, give us a little bit of your testimony, man.
This guy's testament is crazy.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Guys.
Guys.
Well, I'm going to start off with my name. So my name is Alejandro Mariscal. And I go off nickname Alex. But I can say the way I grew up, bro, like I grew up in like a household that was like full of drug addicts. And like both my parents were drug addicts. I could say like since I was born, I was premature because I think my mom was taking still drugs, and she was doing other stuff that while she was having me, and while she was pregnant of me, so I came out premature. I came out. I didn't like come out in the hospital or nothing like that. Like my mom one day, she just like started feeling like her stomach was hurting, and I guess she told my dad to go get some food because she thought she was hungry, and my dad went to go get some food. And while my mom was like, her stomach was hurting, she was going through so much pain. It turns out she was having a baby, and I just came out like out of nowhere. Well, I came out, and I came out with no what's it called?
Umbilical cord.
Umbilical cord. I came out without that, with it cut, and I guess my dad got pulled over while he went to go get food, and they were just like, my dad was like, dang, my mom was calling him like, oh, I just had the baby, like I just had a baby right now, like, and he was like all freaking out, and he had gotten pulled over, and I guess for some reason the cop just left him there, and my dad came to come get my mom and me, and my dad was just like looking at me like, what is that? And my mom was telling him like, this is her son, like, and as they went to like the hospital and stuff, they told my mom like, how'd you cut the umbilical, what is it called? How do you say?
Umbilical cord.
Yeah, how'd you cut that? And she was like, I didn't cut it. And then they would tell her like, oh, it's like, that's like really hard meat, like you have to cut it with something.
Yeah.
And I guess my mom was just like, I never cut it. And so then they would tell her like all these stuff that I came out premature. I came out like probably 2 months, I think, or a month before I was supposed to come out, or around there. But yeah, they were telling my mom that I was gonna come out with a lot of like sicknesses, and it was gonna be hard for me to learn. It was gonna be hard for me to read. I was gonna come out with like my teeth all messed up and like all these other stuff that they would tell my mom. And well, look at me now, like, like I'm here, like I'm a living testimony. Honestly, like it's a miracle for me to be alive right now and be here to speak to you, like to speak to everyone. I feel like, and I know that God has a purpose for my life, and that's something my mom always told me, that there's a reason why I'm here, and there's a reason why that cord was cut, because God knows what He has for me in this life. Yeah, and but yeah, so I could say, growing up, my parents were still drug addicts, and it was hard. It was hard. It was really hard because I had around that time I only had like one sibling and my sister, and I remember times like where they would just leave us, like random people. Like it could be random people. Like sometimes it would be our cousins. Sometimes it would be like some other people I don't even know. Like it was so like scary, but it was like, I don't know, it was like bad. And then I remember like there was times where, like one time they left us in like a Motel 6. Like my parents, like they had left us to go get drugs. Like they went to go get drugs. They left us in the Motel 6, or like, we'd be back, and they left. And I remember I was left alone with my little sister, and I woke up, and it was like the middle of the night. It was like it was dark outside, and I was like 3 years old, and I remember it vividly. Like I remember it like so clear. I remember waking up and I looked around. I was looking for them, and I like didn't see them nowhere. And then I remember seeing my little sister, but I had to get out. I had to get out of the motel. And as a 3-year-old, I don't know how I did it, but I got something and I like unlocked the doors, and I was able to get out and leave. And I went to the front desk and I was asking them for like my mom and my dad, and then they called the cops, and all the cops came. My parents had like later showed up, and I think they were like already like drugged out, like, in their drugs. And I could say they took us to a foster care. So we're like in the foster care system. And we later on, like, I think we stayed there for like a day. But I remember like telling my little sister that like one day we'll get out of this. Like one day, we're gonna be okay. And I remember telling her, looking over her on the crib, her crib that she was in, and yeah, but after that, my grandma came to God get us, and we started living with her, like my grandma. But we will always go back to different grandma's house. So we go with my dad's side, or then we go to my mom's side. But a lot of our aunts and like uncles would take care of us, and like I really appreciate them like so much. But yeah, later on, my parents, one day my neighbor came to our house, and she was like, I want to invite you guys to church. And my parents were like, they would come home sometimes. They would leave for like a whole month. They would come back. Like they always like did that. But one time they caught them at our house. So we're just like, you know, they were at our house, and then the people were like, oh, you guys want to come to church with us? You know, we'll invite you guys. And we're like, sure. Like honest. And then we went to church. I could say the first time I went to church, I was like, I did not like the kids like classes or none of that, because one of my friends, he told me that they would give shots in there. Like they would give you shots, and I was like, bro, like what? Like I don't want to get no shot. Like so, I never went in the kids like
Yo,
classes.
what the
Them dirty needles, bro. I don't
Yeah.
want that.
So I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you know, I don't want to do that. But I remember going in, and like I felt something. Like when as a little kid, going into church, like in the service, and I felt something. I felt God, you know, and I felt that God was there with me, and you know, like it was just like crazy. Like as a little kid, I didn't know I was gonna, you know, feel that. Like as a little kid, I didn't even know I was gonna deal with all this stuff. You know, I feel like kids should be happy and like, you know, smiling and having fun. No, I dealt with like a lot of sadness and like a lot of anxiety as a little kid, and it was like pretty sad. But yeah, when I went to that church for the first time with my grandma, we had went. She had liked it. My grandma loved it a lot, and she would always pray for my parents all the time. I remember her always praying, always crying for them, like when they would leave. And yeah, bro, like it was pretty tough for them to come to Christ. And I remember times where I would just sleep downstairs on the stairs, bro. Like it was bad because I would wait for them. Like I would wait for my parents to come home, and they wouldn't come home. There was times where they would come home, and my parents would be like drugged out of it. Like they would just be out of it, dog. Like it was like bad. And like, yeah, my grandma, I love my grandma. She's like really like prayed for us like a lot, you know. And yeah, my grandma.
Yeah, bro.
My grandma, bro, like yeah, she's been
that's awesome,
she's been
dude.
through a lot.
Yeah.
And I know like God really like was there with us, you know, and with my sisters as well. Like he's really been there. Like, you know, there was times where I was like growing up and I was like, bro, I hate my parents. Like I hate them. Like, you know, when I grow up, I'm not gonna even like have nothing to, like with them at all. Like I hate them. And I remember saying that, and I was like, yeah, I hate them. Like I just hated them so much, you know. But
What was like a turning point? Like when was the turning point that you saw?
bro, so we started going more to church. Well, we started going more to church, and my grandma started praying for them more. And there was just one day that we invited them. You know, one day they came. My parents started coming to church. My dad was still drinking. My dad was still like always like he was like, I could say like abusive when he was drunk. And we'll all hide, like, bro, it was like we'll all hide. It was so bad. Like I'm telling you, like it was so bad where I was left traumatized like as a little kid, because you know, like it was just so bad. I had so much anxiety, and then I would go to like a therapist when I was younger too. But there was a point where my mom came to Christ, and she gave everything to him, and she just, you know, started going to church way more. My dad was still drinking. My mom was still like keep praying for him. My mom was like still praying for him. My dad was like, you know, not even the God will help stop me from drinking or something like that. He was saying like the devil. And one day my dad just stopped drinking, and he came to Christ, and my parents, they went to like a retreat, like a church retreat together, and from that day, bro, like their life changed completely. Like the way they were was completely different. Like, you know, and I could say now my parents are like completely sober. My dad's like completely sober. Like we are truly blessed. Like my mom is she works for a school too, like Nick's mom.
Yeah.
And she's like an office manager now, like there. My dad, he has his own company, but he also works for like the other companies too. So like right now, like my parents are, you know, they're different.
Yeah, praise God.
And God has really changed their lives, and he has changed mine too. And like, you know, even though when I was younger, I felt alone.
Yeah.
I felt sad. I felt like I couldn't, you know, forgive my parents, you know, but growing up, I realized that God was there with me the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and even though my parents were going through that, my parents were doing all these things, I was never alone. You know, he was always there for me.
Yeah.
And I forgave my parents. Like I love my parents. Like,
It's good.
you know, I forgive them for what they did.
Yeah.
And like God really was there. He was there for me. And like my siblings, of course, they didn't see like a lot of the stuff that had happened. But yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff. But like God was, you know, like he was there when in the moments I think about him, like dang, like he was there.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was doing, like when I was sad, when I was laying down, when I was like sleeping on the stairs, like he was next to me. He was there comforting me, you know? And yeah, bro, like that's my testimony. And that's how, you know, my parents also came to Christ, and, you know, they were like drug addicts and like big into drugs. And
so what made you, like, I know we obviously talked about, Nick was like, Nick, you were the first person that came to Nick's mind when we were talking about starting the podcast. And, I was like, dude, like 100%, like you just seem so, like off of like our first like 2 interactions with each other, you just seem so genuine. But I had known that you had wanted to do this beforehand. And so when we kind of came to you with it, what was your drive? What was your conviction of starting a podcast up and getting onto something to, you know, kind of put your voice out there on, you know, Jesus and all that?
yeah, well, one day I was like, I kind of felt like God was calling me. Like I had to wake up, and it was just like random. Like I felt like he was calling me to do something, to talk to others, to preach the gospel. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? We were talking to Nick I was talking to Nick like a long time ago about a podcast. And I feel like he had called me to do it. And so I was just like, I have to obey him, you know? And I wanted to do this podcast because I want to speak to those that need to hear about God. You know, also like that kid that went through the same thing as me, like parents that are like, you know, on drugs, or like, you know, and you know they can't forgive their parents, or, you know, they feel very anxious for everything, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like God has a purpose for this podcast, and he has a purpose for each one of us to be on this too.
It's good.
And there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's
If,
awesome.
if you meet this, like, I've only had a few interactions with his parents, but like, bro, both of them are so like filled with the Holy Spirit, bro. So it's crazy. At least for me, I think this is like a huge deal when you see somebody's like beginning and how they are now and how much the Lord has changed them.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you cannot tell me there's not a God, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've had a couple friends at school where I've met them when they were not, like, before Christ, their BC era, and then I've like still living life with them in their AD era, and it's like, dude, the Lord works everything for His good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Even like the people that you just hear stories about, you know, like about what they were like before, and you're just like, there's no no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you literally cannot believe that person did that like years ago. Like there is something to be said about, like, you know, hearing people's testimony, because like I meet you and I would have never thought that you went through all that. Like, dude, that you were one of the happiest and most like joyful and genuine people that I know. And like you just, every word that you speak is just like one of just like life and, you know, joy. And so for, you know, you to have experienced all that and went through all that, like, again, like, you know, nothing but God.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. So,
Yeah.
dude, that's awesome, man.
Thank you for sharing
Yeah,
that, bro. That's
that-
like
yeah.
some crazy tough stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's God. He's, you know, even though we go through like the hardest like stuff in our like lives in the darkest valleys, he's always there with us. Like he's
Yeah.
walking through with us. Like just imagine him holding your hand
Yeah.
through that darkest valley,
Amen, bro.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's always with us.
Amen.
Sweet, man.
Oh, also like that verse, like you may not know now, but you may know you would know later. I forgot what verse that was. Do you guys know?
I feel like I know what he's talking about.
I think Paul talks about it. He's like, you don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the
But
verse
yeah,
is.
that verse stick with me a lot.
If you know the verse, comment it down below.
For real. We need more comments.
Oh yes. Also, if this is your first time seeing this, subscribe, hit the notifications. I thought I'd never ever say this ever in my life. Like hit the turn on notifications.
Give us a follow on Spotify.
Yeah.
Drop your favorite part of the podcast down in the
Yeah.
comments and
I
give
think you can drop like a timestamp or something on YouTube. So go ahead. Do
Oh
that.
yeah, do that. Subscribe. Turn on notifications.
Can we say subscribe again?
Well,
Subscribe.
subscribe/follow. 'Cause
Subscribe.
on Spotify. It's just follow.
Yeah.
We need that. We need some support.
Is it? I think it's
Subscribe.
John 13:7.
John
What does it say?
13:7. What does it say?
Hold on, let me see.
It says greet your brother with a holy kiss.
Hold on, let me get my Bible, bro. I got it right here.
Open that thing up.
Let me see.
Open that thing up, man.
Oh. Like where am I?
Is it upside down?
That was. What is it? John 13:7, right?
John 13:7.
Wait, what kind of version? What version of the Bible
It's
do you
probably,
guys
the
read?
mic's not gonna pick up your voice, by the way. I don't
Mine's
think.
in
What version do you
mine's
read?
in NLT.
ESV. ESV always.
ESV is the hardest.
No,
to
it's
read.
not,
Yes,
bro.
it is.
KJV is the hardest to read.
I honestly have a better time reading NKJV than I do with ESV. ESV, they're just like, it's the sentences are so long. Like there's no real like, duh, 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 duh. It's just like, duh, 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 duh. You don't hear what I'm saying? You hear me? No, you don't hear me.
Nah.
Whatever. All
I
right,
don't know.
go-
I
go
honestly,
ahead. Go ahead.
I've never read anything besides like NIV, but I've heard like NIV and NLT. They take like verses out and stuff.
Have you heard the Pigeon Bible?
No,
Have you seen that?
no.
There's a
It's
whole
just like crazy.
Bible written in like pigeon.
Pigeon, yeah.
So it's like Jesus walked by the water. Like
No.
Okay, go ahead.
All right,
Alright,
go
it's
ahead.
John 13:7. So it says, Jesus answered him, what I'm doing, you don't realize now, but afterwards you will understand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that was like something that,
Can you give me context? What was he?
He's probably talking to his disciples, I'm pretty sure. But still,
or is
that
he
can
talking?
still be applied to us now.
Or is he talking to a Pharisee? Is it the disciples he's talking to, or is it a Pharisee? 13:7. What is that?
Just read from the beginning of the chapter.
Yeah.
yeah, just let me read.
So beginning of 13.
Jesus washes his disciples' feet when he was washing the disciples'
Oh,
feet.
yeah. Okay.
And I
Yeah.
guess he was talking to Peter too.
Oh, he's probably the context is probably he's going to the cross. No, I'm assuming that's what it is.
13 in chapter 13.
Dude, John, he goes to the cross like pretty early.
How many chapters are in John again?
There's like 21 or something. Maybe. Actually, there might be more. He has to be talking
There's
about
got to
that.
be more context to that.
No, I'm telling you, he's got to be talking. He's washing their feet, bro.
So this is at
This
Yeah,
is
this is
he
the
was-
Passover.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he
That's what
was
I'm
in
saying. That's-
crucified. Yeah.
yeah. He's talking about when he's going to his crucifixion.
Dude, how long is
Because
the
their
crucifix?
expectations
I gotta
for
see
the
this.
Messiah
Hold on.
was for him to come back and basically release the oppression of the Romans over them. And so for him to give himself up, they're all like, "Bro, what? I don't understand this."
Yeah, they were all like confused, huh?
Yeah,
Dang, I didn't realize that it
bro, you
was
gotta
so.
read your Bible, bro.
No, I didn't realize it was so early in John that
I only know that because I
this
took a whole
stuff's-
class on it at Biola. That's
it's,
why.
you're right. It's
At Biola?
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you took a class on John, dude. Like,
Hey, yo,
get
my
out of
bad.
here, bro.
My bad.
Oh my
Forgot to
gosh.
mention I'm a scholar.
But
Yeah, low-key.
I also did take a class with Michael Briggs. Shout out Michael Briggs.
Bro, speaking of Michael Briggs, bro, I texted him like for the first time in like
When? How long?
like dude, I haven't talked to him since he left.
How long ago did you text him?
Maybe like a week ago.
Did he respond?
Yeah.
What did
Bro,
he
he
say?
has like 3 kids now.
Holy
Yeah, I know.
moly.
That's crazy. He said he's moving to Florida because he lives in Virginia or something.
Did they go to seminary? Didn't they go to seminary out in Virginia?
Yeah.
He graduated?
With his MDiv, he graduated with. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Congrats.
No, for real.
Michael Briggs, you're watching this. Congratulations, dude. That is so.
There's no way
freaking
you'll
awesome.
ever see this, bro. There's
I
no
used
way.
to I used to eat, or no, I not used to eat lunch with them. I used to the second semester, or like the last 2 months of my sophomore year, we used to sit and talk like 15 minutes before
Yeah.
like my first class,
Yeah.
like every day.
What the heck?
Yeah,
That's super cool.
yeah. Which kind of is like a part of my testimony a little bit, but he's a super cool guy. Like
Bro.
his class of worldview was probably one of the most interesting worldview classes
Yeah.
classes I've ever taken in high school.
That was the sophomore year, right? When
Yeah.
he did Passion of the
Christ.
Dude,
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he
Bro.
like went in detail about all of like the injuries that happened to
Yeah.
Jesus. Like they're like scientific, like you know, do you remember in the Gospels when it talks about Jesus being like so under stress
That he
like,
bleeds
that he
through his
bleeds, like he sweats
Mhm.
blood.
Yeah. Or in his eyes, yeah.
That's like
So it's
a
blood.
yeah, that's like an actual like thing. Like that's like a
Like he
sign.
was like so stressed out.
so
Yeah.
stressed out that it wasn't out of his eyes.
No, I think you're right. I think he was sweating blood.
It was like sweat, but like it's a scientific thing. It's called like hema
Something, I don't know.
something. I don't. It's a long word, but it's like an actual disorder where someone that is under a high amount of stress constantly, their body starts to, when they go into like these sort of like panic attacks or like anxiety attacks, they start to like perspirate blood. And it's not just like normal sweat. Like it's actually like it's like a red like a red liquid, like water and blood almost, that kind of like mixes and like you sweat it out. It's so weird. It's so strange, but like it just adds on top, like on top of the
and
fact.
it's like because the reason why he was showing us this is because he's saying like there's no way the disciples made this up because they wouldn't have known
yeah,
that like if somebody under intense stress that would happen to, or like
yeah.
when he's stabbed by the Roman soldier and like blood and water come out, that's also like apparently before you're like close to death or something, like
Oh yeah.
the liquid separates or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
But there's like scientific evidence to back up every single
Yeah.
thing that is said.
And it's like they wouldn't know that unless it was like actually happening.
Yeah, because science at the time, I don't think they knew.
There's no way, bro. There's no way.
People say that like pre-flood, like bro, people say that we were advanced.
That's after the flood, bro.
No, pre-flood. Like people say that like there's wild conspiracy theories that pre-flood, like
Before the flood.
yeah, pre-flood, like before God sent the flood onto the earth with Noah and like surviving and stuff, that we were a highly advanced civilization because all
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Jesus' death, bro?
no, what I'm going back to you saying like they wouldn't have known that. There are people that said like we were so far advanced that people pre-flood probably knew that.
Bro, I'm pretty sure Jesus' death is far, 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 far
Away
after
from
the
flood.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%, 110%.
You're stating it. Okay, that's a good statement.
I'm just
I like
saying
that. Okay.
a fact of the matter that people actually believe. I don't know if I believe that. I don't think that I would agree with that.
I think you're
but-
projecting.
Huh?
Huh?
Dude, you're annoying.
Hey, my bad. I'll stop.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
But anyway,
That's crazy.
Super-
Well, that shows us that Jesus was human. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
he went through all the stuff, the emotions like us.
yeah,
You know,
At least Alex is on track, bro.
10,000%. How did we get onto that?
Oh, we're talking about Briggs' class.
I know, but why are we talking about Briggs?
I don't know. You brought him up, but I told you that I texted him.
I brought up Briggs because, you said that you took a class on John.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I took a class
So
about...
We're missing the forest through the trees. Okay, Jacob.
yeah.
Maybe it's just because I'm
Jacob.
like, kind of nervous to talk about my testimony.
Oh, shoot, he's trying to avoid it.
I'm not trying to avoid it at all.
Jacob Myrtle trying to avoid his testimony. That's going in the intro. Okay.
It's another
Stop.
intro.
Stop.
Paint me a picture, bro, of when you came to Christ, kind of what your upbringing was, and then after that, how'd you come to Christ, or how'd you kind of come to LMCA? And then you kind of talked about it
Yeah.
the first episode, which I think we might have to just scratch, bro. I like won't load off my computer, so
What do you mean?
it's on my laptop, so we're not getting it off of there, bro. It's too much footage for my laptop.
I don't understand what you're trying to say, but I'll just go into my testimony. Anyway, yeah, I mean, so I was raised Christian. My dad and my mom are both Protestant Christians. I got baptized when the first time I got baptized was I was around 8 or 9 years old with my mom. And it was calm, nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of like my upbringing. I was a good kid. Nothing really was missing from my life. I didn't go through any super traumatic events, other than the fact that when I was growing up, we weren't the wealthiest family on the block. We definitely struggled a little bit in terms of like money, but my mom and dad always and the Lord on it, like always made a way to make it work. And so, super blessed to have grown up with food on the table, pretty much every single night. Although, it wasn't like how we live now, which we're so blessed to live how we live now. And even what me and Michaela are set up with, it's insane. But just, yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. We were in church. We went to this church. I was probably like 7 when we started going, and then I was probably like around 11 to 12 when we stopped. So we were planted there for a while. My mom's work friend was the one that introduced us to the church, and we got super, super, super like close with that family. We would go over their house all the time. And one day I remember that my dad was a little bit upset with something that had happened with the family, and apparently it was just they were experiencing some things that they just didn't like, and that can be equated to church hurt. And my parents just stopped going. It was a very far drive because they had planted it was like a pop-up church, so they would go into so we were running church out of a movie theater closer to my house.
Oh, what the heck?
And my parents.
Wait, where is this at? What state is this in?
This is in Virginia.
Okay.
So I spent all my childhood up until I was 15 in Virginia, and we were planted there for a minute. And like I said, they planted a church like 10 minutes away from my house, and then they stopped that one. And then the actual church, like the actual church building, was about 40 minutes away. So it was a little bit of a drive every Sunday morning. It's okay. Okay.
Wait, what did it catch?
25 minutes, whatever. After that, it didn't.
Only 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. It's okay.
Gosh.
People listen to this without
Fire.
the film anyway. So, yeah. And so it became just a very big hassle to drive to that church. But that situation that happened with my family, my parents with the other family, it just kind of, burned some bridges a little bit. And it was a little weird. Yeah, we didn't really want to go there anymore. And yeah, so we stopped going to church for a while. I don't think I was back in a church until I moved here, because when we moved here, that's when my dad was like, I think I want to get planted in a church. But yeah, we were kind of inconsistent with, or my parents or my family is kind of inconsistent with it. Some Sundays, yes. Some Sundays, they won't really go, kind of like creasters almost, but a little bit more often than creasters. And yeah, so around the time I was a freshman, I had experienced I was starting to understand a little something about myself that I just felt like I always had a chip on my shoulder. So I was getting into fights. I just kind of always felt like I had something to prove. Yeah, I mean, nothing like super crazy, but I just was starting to get a little bit too aggressive and too sort of like yeah, that feeling of something to prove. And so around the middle of my freshman year, this was right before COVID hit, and it was 2019. I'll never forget, my mom and dad were telling me, so in November, they told me we were going to visit my grandparents in Vegas. And I was really confused because I was really confused as to why my grandparents were out here. That's a totally different story. I don't really want to share any of that stuff, kind of to anybody else, but they ended up retiring here, and my uncle ended up retiring here. They said they loved it out here and they wanted to fly us out. And my cousin was here with my uncle. And we ended up coming out here visiting over 2019 Christmas. And this was right when like reports of COVID started happening. So it was a really weird time because we're out here. I'm just thinking like, oh, we're just visiting. Like, this is cool. I've never been to Vegas before. So we go back, and was it around March, I think?
Yeah.
Around March is when COVID happened and the lockdown hit. And right before that, in February, my parents told us that we were going to be moving to Vegas. And so I was like, okay, like I had to mentally prepare to move somewhere else. But a big thing with that is we were in lockdown and nobody could see each other. Like I had all my friends, like I couldn't see them at all before I left. And yeah, it was really hard on not really my sister, but for me, my sister kind of got over it, but for me, it was a little bit harder because, moving states like that and not being able to spend time with your friends other than like online, like you get no like face-to-face time and there's no, personal connection. So I think I was a little bit bitter towards that. I kind of let it go. I was able to make friends out here, and I started Lake Mead that fall of 2020. And
that's like when COVID was still happening.
That was when COVID was still happening. So the good thing is they told me that I was going to Lake Mead over the summertime, and I was really like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to a Christian private school. I can't believe this. Like every like Christian private school in Virginia, like we always knew them as like the D-bags. Like they were, the kids that you did not like. And, I grew up in the public school system. So that's kind of how it was. And when my mom told me that, I was like, was it going to be online? Because I didn't like the online school. Like it's cool because you don't have to show up for anything. You kind of could just do all your stuff online. But like, I missed having fun with my friends. And so when she told me that, I think Lake Mead got like a religious exemption to be able to like have classes. Like we had to stay 6 feet apart though. We had to wear a mask and all that stuff. It was so crazy just that whole time period. But I ended up making really good friends. And, I was in that friend group, and I, got involved in some relationships and all that. And the more and more all that kind of happened, the more and more I was just becoming less of a Jesus follower, and I was being more of like that chip on the shoulder guy. I don't know what it was about. There was, I fell into a lot of addiction as well. So I was addicted to nicotine. I just made stupid decisions when it came to like drinking and stuff, like drinking underage. And so I struggled with that. I struggled with those two things a lot. I struggled with just treating people with like decency. Like if you weren't my friend, like I didn't treat you good, and even my friends at the time, like I didn't treat them good. And, again, like I'd always kind of known Christ. I'd always kind of, known he was there. And I said I was a Jesus follower, but, in my heart, I wasn't truly following any of his words. And so, I thought that getting baptized again would kind of make me feel a different way. So I got baptized again the end of my sophomore year. I got into this really tricky situation with a lot of my close friends. Really, I wasn't friends with them for a while. And then my dad ended up getting kidney cancer. So he had cancer in his kidneys, or in one of his kidneys, and he ended up getting it removed. And, you know, that's when kind of the community around me started to like hone in on me and just, you know, start loving me again. But again, like I didn't know, I didn't know how to treat them. I didn't know how to respond to that and, you know, be a good friend. So fast forward to the end of my senior year, I was choosing on, you know, what college to pick. And I was trying to decide between UNLV and Arizona State. And every part of me just did not want to be here anymore. Like I felt like there was nothing left for me here. I felt like I was just completely done with Vegas. I just had this bad taste for Las Vegas in my mouth and I wanted to get out. And so that's what ended up making me go to Arizona State. Arizona State, man, that's not a good place you want to be if you're a Christian. Obviously, if you're a missionary, probably the perfect place to be because there's so many lost souls out there. But yeah, I mean, just doing everything under the sun that you do not want to do as a Christian, like, you know, drinking, smoking, you know, just being completely off the walls. You know, I got into 2 fights while I was there. It just was not a good environment at all. And, you know, I kind of realized that about midway through the semester.
Were you part of a frat?
I was not a part of a frat. That was the one thing I didn't want to do because obviously frat guys have a little bit of a stereotype behind them, and I didn't want to be involved in that at all. And plus you have to pay to be in a frat. Like it was already so much money to go there, like out of state. I just decided like, no, I don't want to be in a frat. I ended up making some, you know, decent friends. Like I met some good people there. I met, you know, a lot of guys. Obviously they didn't do the things that, you know, we would say or you're not supposed to do or you shouldn't do now, but they did do those things. However, they were still really good friends to me and they treated me great. I was in that friend group for, you know, until I left. But around the midway point of that year, I ended up deciding I wanted to come back. And my mom was like, just finish out this next semester and then we'll reevaluate. But I was kind of already dead set on coming back. And so midway through that semester, midway through the second semester, so this was spring of 2024, that's when I met Michaela. And I was already feeling super, you know, disconnected from God, but I was trying to get back to, you know, or I was trying to go back to him. And out comes this girl that just absolutely blew my socks away. Like, you know, just, man, everything about her when we first initially met was just everything that I was looking for. And a little bit of context as to, you know, how we started. So I gotten out of like this like little situationship thing at Arizona State, like in, I think it was early on in the second semester. And I basically, after I got out of that, I told the Lord, I was like, I'm done with all relationships with women. Like, I don't want to date anybody. If it has to be like 5 to 6 years before I meet somebody, dude, I'm all for it. Like, I just don't even want to, I don't want to touch the subject of like dating and trying to find a wife. And then so she comes in my life. She ended up adding me back on Snapchat. And we kind of just talked for a little bit. We ended up like texting, and then we ended up calling, and then we ended up FaceTiming, and we would like read the Bible together. We would pray together. We would just like stay up talking until like 2 a.m. And I had class at like 8. Like it was crazy, just like the chemistry that was there. And again, like praying the whole time, like, Lord, I do not want, like, I did not expect this, and I did not want this. And, but when she, like, the more and more, so I was telling the Lord, if this is not in your will, like, take this away from me so I don't make another stupid decision. And she ended up coming out to Vegas because the Lord was affirming the entire time, like, you know, no, I want you in this, and I want you in this, you know, I want you to be in this relationship, because everything was going according to plan. Everything was going exactly how, you know, a great relationship should. And we ended up just meeting and man, our first interaction was just fireworks. Like I'm never, I love you, babe. I'm going to stop glazing you so hard. But,
Bro's trying to get brownie points, bro.
yeah, for real. No, I'm just kidding. I love her a lot. Anyway, but we grew in our faith together, and she really helped me, kind of rehabilitate that muscle of loving Jesus and wanting Jesus. And that didn't come without its issues. We experienced a couple of trials in our relationship, some within the relationship, some with, other people outside the relationship. But through the entire time, I mean, me and her are just, remain so strong in relating all of our success in the relationship and all of our, sort of like just growth towards the Lord. We credit that all to the Lord, and we credit that all to Jesus, because, only Jesus has gotten us through some of those hard times, and only Jesus has gotten us to the point now where we're about to get married. And, so we just, for the last 2 years, we've been long distance. I think I've been out to Texas and Minnesota combined. I want to say it's I think this next time will be maybe 11.
Dang, bro.
So 10 or 11 times I've been out there, or it's something like a high number like that. And then she's been out here maybe 7 times.
That's crazy.
So we've seen each other a lot. And for a long distance relationship, people would say, holy smokes, how did that work? But again, that's all Lord. That's literally all, that's all Jesus at that point. And I think there is something to be said about getting to fall in love with a person's personality before the physical, because I think that was one of my big struggles before her, was falling in love with, something physically versus actually falling in love with the person. And so with, having a long distance relationship, you have no choice but to love the person's personality. If you don't love the person's personality, it's not going to work. And, the Lord just, he handcrafted this relationship just amazingly. And the way it's just held up, every pillar of my life, and also for her, it's just been remarkable. And so, I really dedicated my life to Christ about like I said, when I got back from Arizona State, around the time that I met her. So around the spring of 2024. And ever since then, man, it's just been such an uphill, an upturn in my life, and has just really, he's done miracles on me. Not to quote Kanye or anything, but he's done miracles on me. You know what I mean?
No.
You never heard that song?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe.
Have you heard that song?
Yeah.
See?
I've heard it.
I don't listen to Kanye, bro. I only listen to his older songs. That's it. Is that one of his older songs? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not cultured enough, bro.
When did Jesus is King come out?
That's one of his older songs. Yeah, I think so.
Nah.
Was that 2014 or 2015?
Jesus is King?
Yeah.
18, no?
Was it 2018?
I think it was.
I don't remember. All I know is I remember the song. He's the miracles on.
Yeah, I remember that album was pretty. That's when he was started talking more about Christ and more about God.
Yeah, but then he kind of went off the rails again. Kanye, we're praying for you, big dog.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my testimony. That's kind of
good,
how
bro.
I came to know Jesus more personally.
Do you think you were what was your biggest reason for coming home? Were you saying you just didn't enjoy it there, or you just knew it wasn't a place that the Lord wanted you to be?
Both.
I
wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying the life that I was living out there. I tried to make the most of it, but it was just never really fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can do all that stuff, and you can, party your butt off and drink your butt off and try to have as much fun as you can. I will say the most fun I've ever had there was playing poker. We used to play poker all the time. And poker was my thing, bro. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. But besides that, like you said, it just wasn't fulfilling me. I didn't like it, but I also knew that the Lord was like, I mean, not to make the Lord sound like but he was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, wake up call.
No, for real.
Like, dude, are you serious? Like,
No.
do you know who you are?
Yeah.
This is not you.
Yeah.
And it was just weird, man.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like this like heart tug of just like, Jacob, I'm hurting for you, man.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Hey, sometimes he's got to give you a slap in the head, because, especially because you said your yes, but like your heart and your mind weren't connected.
Yeah.
And that's honestly how I felt like I was a lot when I was in college.
Yeah.
Like I said my yes, and then I even said a little bit more than my yes, but my head and my heart weren't in the same place.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went to a Christian university, bro, and I was still doing that stuff there until my senior year.
Yeah.
And even like at the beginning of my senior year, I was still doing it. And then
Yeah.
that's when I was like, I think that summer before my senior year is when the Lord was like, bro, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like, you need to lock in. That's when I was
I think there's
more in my
something
prayer
there-
life and reading and stuff. So.
Yeah, there's something so like, there's nothing more like almost humiliating than, not that the Lord's trying to humiliate us, but like you just feel so bad when the Lord is just like when the Lord is like basically telling you like you're not like, you're letting him down. You know, like you're letting what, you know, he has for you, like you're letting that down and you're not meeting that expectation that he has of you. Like you just feel horrible. Like, man, it is not a good feeling to feel like you let God down. Like, you know how, like, you feel like you let somebody else down, you're like, oh man. But you let God down, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like it just,
Yeah.
it is such a crappy feeling. But it's a feeling that like, again, slaps you in the face. You're like, dude, I need to freaking,
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
go.
It's
So
crazy that he loves us in that.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm so freaking blessed to have gotten out of there. I'm so blessed to have started, you know, loving Vegas again. Like I told you, like I hated it here, and now I love it. Like I couldn't imagine myself any place else.
Yeah.
And I don't plan to like leave until like a while from now. Like wherever the Lord calls me, that's where I'm gonna be. But I feel like we're gonna be planted here for a minute. So
Fire, dude. That's sick.
You said your parents, did your parents grow up Christian?
my mom, no. My dad, yes. But when I say my dad, yes, not like he wasn't like a Bible head. Like he wasn't like one of those kids that went to church every Sunday. Like they were Christians,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
So they became Christian when they got invited to the church?
Yeah, so that's when they started like really pressing into their faith, and you know, I'd say there's work to do on both my mom and my dad. And I love them so much, and I know they both believe, you know, but it's even like me, man. Like we all have stuff we need to work on, and we all have stuff we need to get better at. So, you know, they believe in Jesus and they love Jesus. I know that. I know every single part of my immediate family at least acknowledges that. So that's great.
Fire.
Yeah.
So sick.
So, and then your fiance, you brought up your fiance, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you guys meet at church, or how did you guys like know each other?
Okay, so we've been long distance the entire time that we've been together, and the way we met. So the beginning of my second semester at Arizona State. So this was January of 2024. I needed a PlayStation. Like I needed a gaming console so I could game with Joey and Josh. And Emily, who was one of my friends, she had one like just at her house. Like she wasn't doing anything with it. And so I wanted her to ship it out to me. I told her I'd pay for the shipping, all of that, like just send it to me because she wasn't using it and I want to play video games. And so she ended up doing it, but she was going to do it for me, but she couldn't. And so Michaela, she told Michaela to do it, and Michaela did it, but she did it to she sent it to the wrong person.
Oh, what the heck?
So she ended up sending it to my best friend instead of me. And so it got like returned to it. She put my address, but with the wrong name. And so they sent it back.
What the heck?
And then so they sent it again. And I was like, I didn't like her off the start. I was like, how do you mess that up? Like, are you serious? Like, dude, I just like lost like 2 weeks of gaming because of you.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't like, I hadn't talked to her. I didn't like know her like that. And so but I added her on Snapchat because I wanted to text her about it to be able to like confirm that all of this was getting like sent to me and all that. But she had a boyfriend at the time, so she didn't text me. She didn't like add me back or anything on Snapchat. And then so about 4 months later, in April, she ended up adding me back. And we started snapping or whatever, and then we started texting, and that's how we ended up like we met over the phone, and then we started FaceTiming, and then we met in person like a month later.
Dude, that's so crazy,
And
bro.
where she live again?
She lives so she lived out in Texas in Abilene. That's where she went to school, but she's from Minnesota.
Oh, so you met her from one of your friends?
I met her through a mutual. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. That the longest way to say I met her through a mutual friend.
Dude, that's actually crazy, bro.
Where's
That's
that PlayStation
You've
at?
been doing. I didn't know you've been doing long
Where's
distance
that
for that
PlayStation
long,
at?
bro. That's
It
crazy.
is sold.
It's sold.
I sold that thing.
No, bro.
As
What
soon
the?
as,
You just ripped off Emily, bro. What the heck?
Emily, if
Well,
you're watching this,
to be fair, it wasn't hers, and the person that it actually belonged to told me that he didn't want it anymore. So
Oh,
I sold
W.
it. I should.
Hey, good looks, bro. Just made a
Hey,
quick
good, I
bag.
bought like I traded that thing in for like $100 PlayStation gift card, bro.
Bro, no way.
Well, cash they were only gonna give me like $70. GameStop rips you off, bro. I hate GameStop. I hate GameStop. GameStop, do not sponsor us. I don't want a sponsor from you, GameStop. Like you guys are trash.
That's funny.
Give me. I saw a meme of like it was like this guy and he had like 3 like super old Xbox 360 games and he was like, what do you think I could get for this? And he like posted on Twitter. One of the replies was like, bro, like they're gonna slap you in the face if you try to like bring that into them and like give them those games, bro.
Yeah.
You're not getting any money.
No, dude, you used to be able to trade games in like all the time, bro. I
Yeah,
remember
for
going with my
a
cousin.
good price too.
Yeah, my cousin, he would used to get like a new game every week, bro.
You could trade in a brand new copy of 2K26 to them right now. They'll only give you like $10.
That's just the way the world works now, bro.
No, that's not how it works.
That's the way the
Nick.
world works, bro.
I don't care if I owned it for a week before you guys got it. Like, well, actually, now the hard copy games are actually becoming very obsolete. Like everything you can buy online and digital through like PlayStation Store. You don't have to buy the physical disc copy. Like, I would say that the price of like disc and like IRL discs are actually going to go up. I would say that they're actually going to be pretty rare.
no one goes to GameStop no more.
No one goes to GameStop.
No, I
anymore.
don't even know how they
Yeah.
run, bro.
Well, they sell other things.
They sell like Pokemon cards though.
Controllers. They sell. You only go to
That's very
you go to
true.
GameStop if you need like hardware.
It just became like a Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy is
Just
They have
called GameStop.
like collectors cards and stuff
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah.
Now I got that.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever go back to GameStop, ever. I hate GameStop.
GameStop hates you, bro. They actually sent us an email and they said they want to kick you off the show.
They want to kick me off the channel.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just said that.
Whatever.
All right.
They
So
need to
you
go-
said you went to ASU,
Anyway.
right? Or did you go to ASU?
Yeah, Arizona State.
Like, what's the craziest thing you've seen? Like in college, like what's the craziest thing?
Oh man, I've seen some wild stuff. I've walked into the back of a bar, and went to the bathroom, and in one of the stalls, I saw a couple of like frat dudes doing lines of coke
That's pretty epic, dude.
in the bar, in the back of the bar. Insane.
Pretty
That's
cool.
probably the most insane. But then again, I never like people probably have seen way worse stuff, like way harder drugs, way more things that have just been like, oh, like I've actually never seen anything that crazy. but just mainly because I didn't put myself in that situation. There was always a limit to whatever I did. Like, I think the most was just drinking, excessive drinking. I never was like wanting to get into like big, like smoking and like doing weed and all that stuff. Like that was never really like a big desire.
Then
Yeah.
you also said that like you used to vape, right?
Yeah.
How was that? Like, did you stop vaping? Or are you like,
Yeah. So I quit. I quit a while ago. Man, it's been a hot minute.
he pulls
Like,
out his vape?
the I think it was that semester, like before me and Michaela met. It was sometime during that period I stopped. But yeah, dude, it was hard.
Yeah, dude.
It was so hard. Like, dude, getting off of nicotine especially is just like one of the hardest things to come back for. Like, it's one of the hardest things to just quit, like cold turkey.
They make it super addictive on purpose, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But they do that with everything. Everything's addictive
Yeah.
nowadays. Like, but yeah, it was hard. It was
Yeah.
really hard.
Bro, like I see a lot of people vaping now. Like nowadays, even like young kids, like I can say middle schoolers. I go to like the mall, and you just see them like just blow
Hitting
out like a
vapes and
big
stuff.
cloud.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
it's crazy.
Well, it's honestly, there's like research that shows that it's like harder to, or it's like better to do a cigarette than it is to do a vape. Because of how many chemicals you're getting out of vapes now. Like that's real like research being done about that.
They're both pretty terrible for you. I would rather not do either. But dude, I don't know. I used to have a buddy at school and he did it a lot, and he was telling me it's like literally the hardest thing he's ever
Yeah.
like. It was the hardest thing for him to like quit out of like everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like, dude, so many people instead of doing that, they'll do like Zins now,
Yeah.
and it's still like the same thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean,
There's- there's-
it's such an I honestly don't know why that like isn't that chemical isn't banned like everywhere.
it's because the United States like to make money, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it causes so many people to be addicted to it. But it's like it's caffeine too. Caffeine is like the same thing.
Yeah,
You're not getting like a buzz from it, but you're
still.
dude. When you go without caffeine for a while, oh my gosh, your head starts to pound by like day 2.
Yeah, weren't
you're-
you saying you're like pretty
Yeah.
heavily?
For the when I got norovirus, when I got the stomach flu, dude, I stopped drinking caffeine for like 3 days, 2-3 days. The worst headache you will ever experience in your life. Like I mean, migraine times like maybe 2 or 3. Just like, oh my lord. And I'm a pretty heavy caffeine drinker. Like, dude, I know I can crush a coffee, but
What is that? What's in there?
it's venti iced caramel macchiato.
Oh shoot! That's a white girl drink.
It is a white girl. You should hear Brian's coffee order,
It's probably worse.
bro. Almond milk with a splash of like heavy whipping cream. I'm like, Brian, what are you doing?
Bro,
You
let him
serious?
be, bro.
No, I'm actually going to get dinner with him after this.
Oh wait, really? What the heck?
Yeah, we're going to Chipotle.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's fine.
But that's cool, dude. I love hearing you guys' testimonies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. I didn't, of course, mine was probably like, I think I like when I hear other people's testimonies, I have like that what is it, mentality of like, oh, I didn't go through anything, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my story is so small compared to other people.
But
But
you gotta understand at the end of the day, like everybody's testimony is like the Lord's story that He has written for them.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, it's like not really anything
yeah,
that we own. It's
Mm.
actually the Lord's. So to just say it and like preach it to people, you don't know what anybody's gone through, like has gone through, and you could be speaking to somebody who's done the exact same thing.
true.
And like I feel like we have pretty similar testimonies, bro. Our
Yeah,
parents both got cancer, and then it wasn't like for a while that we were in the faith and like we said like, oh yeah, we're Christians, but
Yeah.
then we realized, I'm actually not living that way. And in some way, we didn't get like a full taste of the world, but we got some taste of it. And we were
Yeah.
like, that's actually not.
Once you guys
That's
went to
not
college.
life giving at all. Yeah. And dude, for people who live in that, bro, like, I say don't be ashamed of it, bro. The Lord can
Yeah.
help you wherever you're at. Like in Matthew 8, it says, or Matthew 28, 8, or Matthew 28, the last verse, it says that like literally nothing that you can do or have done or like will do in the future like could ever separate you from the love of Jesus.
Yeah.
So like those are just coping mechanisms of the trauma that you've like been through or that you're still going through. And,
Yeah.
like, I'm telling you, Jesus is a better answer than that. So
That makes me think, like coping mechanisms. I had this. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to out him. I knew a guy. Okay, and you were asking me what's the craziest thing I've ever seen. The craziest thing I've ever seen is coming back to my dorm room, and seeing this guy, my roommate, being completely just like on psychedelics, on mushrooms. Oh my gosh. Like that, like he was just like, so I would come home like after playing poker, or I would go back to my room after playing poker, and he would be like up, like watching Family Guy or like watching like The Simpsons or something. And he would literally be like staring at his monitor, like
freaking comatose.
just, I like, it's so like, that was crazy because I never seen somebody actually like do a psychedelic and like a mushroom and like be in front of me. And one time he asked me if he could grow mushrooms out of our room and like make money on it. I was like, no. And I was like, and he was like, well, do you mind if I do it with my car? And like, I like do stuff in the room as well. And I was like, dude, I don't care if you do psychedelics in our room, just don't like mess with me. But like, if you want to do it out of your car, that's fine. Just don't be like growing mushrooms in like our drawers and stuff, bro. Like sediment in the drawer. Are you serious, bro? Like, what's going on?
Bro, he's trying to make a business,
I
dude.
do not care. I don't care at all. I was hearing this.
That's
thing
actually wild, bro.
no. Okay,
Casually tossed the
that is
idea
the
of being a
craziest
drug
thing I've ever
dealer.
seen. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Seeing somebody so out of it on psychedelics, like. I never want to try psychedelics at all. I've never had a desire to, and I never will. But seeing somebody on them is it's the craziest thing ever.
Did you sleep in a dorm? That was a dorm, right?
Yeah, it was a dorm, and like, bro, we're like in a room the size of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big of a room. Like, it's probably even smaller than this, bro. Like, to be honest with you, and then you have like a bathroom and stuff that you share with 2 other people. Oh my god!
How was it? Like sleeping in a dorm? How was it? Like,
it was cool.
were they dirty? Like dirty people?
I mean, yeah. So that roommate was dirty. I had one roommate before that. His name was Rico. Shout out Rico. You are the man. I love that guy. One of the best roommates ever. Like, just was so nice to me. We took like 2 of the same classes, I think, and we would like kind of like, go over homework together and all that. Super cool dude.
Aww.
But all right, bro. Whatever. You're so annoying.
My bad.
But then he ended up transferring out.
Oh, dang, bro.
Like midway through the semester, just up and left. And kind of like up and leaving at church.
just dip.
Anyway, yeah, and he ended up leaving, and I didn't have a roommate for like 2 months, and that was the best thing ever.
Yeah, the best is kind of
I had the whole room to myself. I made like a double bed. It was so sick, dude. Like I
made a double
a
bed.
double bed. I had like
I took advantage of that.
Yeah, and then like housing came to my room one day while I was at like class, and housing like gave me a call, and they were like, "We were just in your room. You got to move all this stuff back." Like, and I was like, "Oh crap!" Like I forgot people could go in there that
Like they
weren't
did
me.
surprise
Yeah,
inspection.
and they were like, you have a roommate coming. Like, and there was this new guy, dirtiest dude I've ever seen in my life, bro. Not only was he like
What was
always
this like?
high on mushrooms, but like he was one of the dirtiest people ever.
Dang.
He would like
It'd be
leave
like
salads open, like so our room would walk in and it would smell like salads. Like I was just pissed off the whole time, and I was gonna say something, but never mind. That's not relevant to the story. But yeah, you just I didn't really enjoy him at all.
I'd be like
I
that
tried to preach
sometimes.
to him too, but what I was gonna say is he was Jewish, so
Oh.
yeah,
Hey, you can still preach to him, bro.
they don't like us that much.
So you had like the worst roommate ever.
Yo, what the heck?
That is like what shit. He was trying to grow a lab in your room, dog.
Yes, yes.
He smelled probably bad. He left food.
Left food everywhere. Nothing was vacuumed.
Worst roommate ever.
I never want to be back there again, bro. The worst experience of my life.
Is that why you wanted to leave?
Well, that was a big part of it.
What? How long were you with him? Was it a whole year? Or
It was a semester and like a month.
they gave you a new roommate like mid semester?
Yes.
What the heck, bro? They never do that at Biola,
Because his room flooded
bro. Oh,
in his other building. See, like we were in the penthouses, bro. Like our building, Manzanita Hall. Whew, we were like on like a high rise. Like that building would like look like a hotel, and it was a part of the liberal arts and sciences like section of like housing. And so Palo Verde East and West were the two buildings that were also for our major, and so kids like that building had a whole bunch of issues. And so after that, after my roommate had left, his room, my new roommate's room, flooded. And so I have another story after, I'll tell you in a second. He moved over to my room, and it was just like by coincidence that he ended up like being in my room, and like there was a vacancy in my room, and then they moved him over.
dang.
But oh no, I'll tell you about this. Not only did I walked in on him like, you know, completely buzzed out of his mind from psychedelics, I walked in on him and his girlfriend doing it
That's tough.
in the morning time
That's
at like
tough.
10 a.m.
That's tough, bro.
It'd be one thing if it was like 11 at nighttime, because I'd be like, okay, let me be a little bit cautious. I don't know what he's doing in here. Like, but no, it's like 10 a.m. I'm like coming home from a class, like a lab, and I just walk in and bam. And so I closed the door real quickly. I locked the door, and then I went downstairs to the dining hall. A couple of my buddies were in there, and I was just like, I cannot believe this. I can't believe my life right now. And then he texted me, and he was like, hey, bro, I'm so sorry you had to see that. And I was like, bro, I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, it's fine, I guess.
He texted you like, my bad, bro. I used your bed too.
I hated if they were on
Bro
my
made
bed,
a double bed.
The double bed, dog. They needed a queen size bed, bro.
bro, stop. I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, before you walked in, bro, they moved off your bed to the other bed.
Don't say that.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
That's a college life, dude.
yeah, that is the college life.
You meet some interesting people in college, bro.
Be very careful about your college experience, because you will experience some crazy things anywhere
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go. It's literally anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, don't even get me started on that, bro.
I only went to college for like one semester. I just left, dog.
I didn't even know you went to
Right here
school.
in Nevada State.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave? You just didn't like it.
Like around that time, bro, I had like a toxic girlfriend. So like, bro, honestly, I was just going to college for like her. But I was like, yeah, it had to be.
It had to
Yeah.
be done.
It had to be done.
It
dog.
had to be done.
I didn't like it. I didn't like school. I was
Yeah.
like, nah.
That Primo did
wasn't
the
it.
same thing. He was there for like 2 semesters and he left.
Guys, I just got a notification that my suit for my wedding is here.
Oh shoot!
Just got
Like
delivered.
here, like outside,
Just got here.
like
I don't
outside.
need to go get it. I think my parents will grab it. But
No, you should go get it and
No.
try it on camera.
also,
Try it on right here.
dude,
Try it on.
I'll be able to I'll be able to move into my house, the house that me and Michaela are renting. I'll be able to move into that next month, starting
that's
on
fire,
July
dude.
1st.
July
Nice,
1st.
bro.
There you go.
Congrats.
So
That's really cool.
2 weeks away.
So how's that gonna work? You guys gonna be like living together, or is it
Yeah.
just like
Well, no, not until we get married.
Okay.
Because right after we get married, then we're gonna come back here and we'll live together.
Where's she gonna live there, and then you're gonna live here, or
No, she's not. She's not gonna be in Vegas until because she's in Minnesota right now. So she's not gonna be in Vegas until after we're married.
oh, is she still in school?
Yeah. So after she's done with school, or after she's done with after we're done with the summertime and all that stuff, she starts her last year online.
Okay.
And then
At the same school.
at Abilene Christian.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Abilene
cool.
Christian online.
You guys
Yeah.
got it all set up, dude. That's pretty
Nice.
sick.
I know, dude. It's been a process, bro.
What's she studying?
Family and children's studies. Family and children's studies. So
What does that entail?
like learning all about like family life, and it's like
Is it like a psychology major? Or?
yeah, like a branch of psychology, I guess.
That's cool.
She just tells me stuff that she learns in her classes, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
But like, what can you do with that?
She
Like,
wants to be a like a marriage and like children's therapist.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you have to go to more school after?
TBD. TBD on if she is or not. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you have your bachelor's, you're good for a lot of things probably that don't really like look at what your major actually is. So when she works here, I don't think she's going to move into something that's like exactly what her major is like right away. Like she won't move into like that position in like a church body because that's what she wants to do. She wants to work inside of a church,
Oh, that's cool.
and be like a therapist there.
Lake Me Wellness Center.
Something like that.
That'd be
but
cool.
not
That's a great
exactly
place to
that.
start, bro.
Oh yeah,
I guarantee you they would love her. So.
100%.
All right, I got one more question.
I brought that up to her before, by the way.
One more question. So you also brought up how you used to like fight and like
Yes.
what was it like? So much anger built in you that you had to like let it out. Like what was it? Like why were you
Yeah.
fighting?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just I think a bit like kind of a part of my testimony is like in elementary school I was kind of bullied. I wouldn't say like to a very extreme point, but you know, I was kind of like on the outskirts of a lot of things, and people didn't necessarily treat me good, but a lot of people treated me good certain points. And then even in middle school, like I wasn't treated exactly how a kid should be treated. And so I think a lot of it comes from that. Just like trying to like prove myself, like prove that, you know, oh, like if you're going to pick on me, like, you know, you got to deal with like me, like wanting to fight you or, you know, fighting you or whatever. And, yeah, I mean, I guess I just thought if I could like fight that, you know, nobody would really like mess with me, you know, and that was kind of my whole mentality behind it. And sometimes when people, you know, just used to say things to me, like I would always want to just like, you know, hey, like if you want to talk all that crap or if you want to talk a certain way about me, like, you know, then you can come do this and we can actually like handle it and fight, which is never a good solution because it normally like, you know, well, obviously when you're an adult, if you do that to somebody and they press charges on you, you're probably going to jail for assault.
Yeah.
But back then, like, you know, so when I was over 18, obviously I had to rethink the consequences of all that stuff. But even just learning about it from a Christian perspective, like, you can't just solve everything with like your hands. You can't just solve everything with wanting to get into a fight with somebody. Like you got to be able to use your words and you got to be able to, you know, accept when you're wrong, because a lot of times like we don't think that we're wrong, but like we're actually like a big proponent of why that person feels that way or why, you know, they're in that mood and like to begin with, why they're even talking about you to begin with. So, you know, there's just there's a lot more to it being a Christian. There's a lot better ways to handle it as a Christian. And, but before that, I mean, I was just kind of reckless with it. I just really didn't care. Obviously, when we went to a Christian private school, it's a little bit different, like the rules of fighting. Like in public school, you could fight and you would get, you know, a 3-day suspension for fighting the first time. Second time, 5 days. Third time, expelled. Lake Mead, it was like, no, the first time you fight, you're gone. Like, you know, the no fighting policy, like something like, and so the last thing I wanted to do was get kicked out of school. So I think that's why, and the Lord kept me from a lot of situations where I could have been in, where I could have fought and I could have, gotten kicked out and not gone there anymore. So, but yeah, just again, chip on my shoulder. Just really I didn't like to talk about things and talk through things. It was just like, no, like, let's run it. Like, I want to fight you. I think I don't know where the aggression necessarily comes from. I think it's from my childhood, just like kind of being picked on, never really like fitting in completely. And so you deal with a lot of people like talking about you and stuff. So I think that's where it comes from. But yeah. Have you guys ever been in fights? You've never been in one?
I'm too scary, bro. People don't want to mess with me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're too scary?
Yeah, I'm too scared. Bro.
Honestly, I was like cool with everyone. Like,
yeah,
I was like whatever, like cool.
I'm not
Yeah,
everybody's
I think
cup of
same.
tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know I'm not. My personality is just not like that. I try to be as friendly with everyone as possible. Like even now, like especially now, I try to be. But
Maybe the BC Jacob was different, bro.
yeah.
So what now? Like, let's say someone comes up to you and fight. Like, do you think about like, what would God do in this moment, or like, do you just like,
If you're talking about now,
yeah,
if
like
somebody
now.
came out to you and was like trying to fight me, I probably wouldn't do anything. I'd just be like, hey, like, I mean, I do think about that. Like, Jesus doesn't want me to fight. Like, I don't think Jesus would want me to like try and put hands on this person.
Just start preaching the gospel, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that would work.
Dude, they
They're
can't.
throwing
They'll
hands
just
out.
be
They'd be
like,
what's going on here?
what am I supposed to do, bro?
Yeah. But I mean, there's been plenty of times where, like, especially like on the road, like driving. Oh my Lord. Like, dude, people here are just bozos, dude. Just absolute, they have no idea what they're doing. Like, I almost hit a guy yesterday coming home from work because he was getting off an exit. And he was like on the I-11 getting off of Sunset, and I'm coming down Sunset, and he's trying to merge, and I'm in that lane where he has to get into, but he has to yield,
Bro,
and he just
not
up
yield.
and goes, and I had to literally like swerve around because I'm going like 50 miles per hour, and he has to take, it's a truck, and he has to take a minute to accelerate, and I go around him and stuff. And I literally I turn around, or I'm like looking at him as we're like passing by, like as I'm passing by, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like what are you doing? And then so I get around him and I'm just like, I probably could have like just like waved at him or something, or like been like, yo, it's okay, bro.
Yeah.
Like clearly that was your fault and you almost just caused me to almost die. But
Was
it's
it a
okay.
gray Ram?
It was not a gray Ram. It was a red.
That's what I was thinking when he said that. I was like,
It was
me.
Nick.
It was a red Ram. Coach C,
Coach C.
Mike Troniak.
Oh shoot.
No,
Maybe.
it was not him.
Could be Kevin, bro. Kevin drives a red Ram.
Does he actually?
Yeah. You wouldn't notice if it was Kevin though.
You think?
I mean, you said you looked at him.
No, because that truck fell. I know the truck felt. The driver felt embarrassed because he didn't try to get up to speed really quickly. Like if he was mad at me, he would have like been on my bumper. But that's just an example of like there's so many verbal altercations that can turn physical that you got to really like know how to defuse a situation because you never know what people have in like their cars or like what they're carrying on them. They could have a gun on them. They could have a knife on them.
At the end of the day, too, bro, I don't think it's that big of a deal, bro.
It's not. But I mean, if somebody's trying to like, the one thing I cannot stand is when people tailgate me. Like I'm not talking about like just follow me closely because there's every car in Nevada does that. I'm talking when a dude is so far on my butt that he can like
Push
see
your
the
car.
hair fibers on the back of my head. Like that's what we're talking about. Like I know that feeling because I've been behind someone that close.
Yeah.
And I know how close they are. I mean, they're probably from like me to you in terms of like front bumper to back bumper.
Yeah.
And you're following me at that?
Yeah.
Like you're
Especially on
following
the highway.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
Bro, I have a terrible habit of doing that.
Of tailgating people?
Bro, okay, I'll admit it, bro. I speed,
I don't
bro.
like you.
I speed, but if somebody is doing like 50 and they come into my lane, bro, Bro, I'm letting you know that you cut me off, bro. I'll go like super close behind
you
him.
best believe if you're going like under the speed limit in the left-hand lane, I'm gonna be on your butt.
Yeah.
But that's because you're going the speed limit.
Okay.
You're only
That is just
going.
me.
No, you're not alone. You are not. No, I understand that, but like if I'm going 80 in the left-hand lane, or if I'm coming down Water Street into my neighborhood and I'm going 30 and a 25, and you are right there.
If you're already speeding, then we're talking about somebody else is doing it. Yeah.
Bro, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He was coming into the neighborhood with me, and for residents, you can go in two of the gates. Like you don't have to, or you don't just have to go to the right hand one. You can go into the middle one and the right hand one. And this guy got into the middle one, and I was going around the right hand one. You know how it merges? He stops in front of the merge and rolls down his window, and I rolled down my window, and he was like, why are you like, because I yielded at the roundabout too, because there was a car coming. He goes, why are you stopping at the roundabout? And I said, what are you talking about? And he was like, you stopped at the roundabout. Like, why are you stopping? Why are you going so slow? I said, first of all, you were the one that was tailgating me first. I was going 30 and a 25. And I said, second of all, you're blocking me from being able to get to my house right now. You look like an idiot. And obviously not the most Christian thing you can say to someone in that moment.
Low key, you just told him straight up though.
But I mean, dude, you're acting like a complete idiot right now. I'm yielding. You're supposed to stop if a car's coming. What are you talking about? Like you're supposed to yield. That's what that is. Like that's what a roundabout is. You yield for oncoming traffic, all four ways. And so I said, buddy, just go home. Like I'm not mad at you or anything, but dude, don't roll your window down and act like you're about to do something to me, because don't do that. There's security right there, and you're wrong. You're in the wrong. And he just took off.
Tough, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like I try to act good in those situations, but you know, and I do majority of the time.
I think that was a good answer, bro. You just told him straight up. I mean,
it would be one thing if I'm cussing you out.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like bleep 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 bleep. Like after you, I hope you do this, whatever. But
my
like
alarm's going off.
I mean, my memory card's full, bro.
We need some upgrade.
So where does this guy live? No, just
Yeah, no, I don't know. I remember his car though. It was a white truck. We have the audio recording, so it's fine. It'll cut to a black screen.
I finished your story. We'll close that, I guess.
Oh, you're not gonna record?
Dude, I got no more space in there, bro. I mean, how long have we been doing this?
An hour and a half.
try to delete something.
There's nothing on there besides the videos. Besides these videos that we're recording.
We need better hardware. We need better hardware.
I know.
We need
I
bigger
need
SD cards.
We need SD cards.
We need like 1,000 gigabytes.
Anyone want to give us SD
a
cards? Give us
terabyte,
SD
bro.
cards.
You know how much a terabyte is?
A terabyte of
Bro,
SD.
right now is not the time to be buying SD cards, bro, or any storage. Literally, they are so expensive. I bought this SD card for like, I think it was like $60 like a month ago. They're already up to, it was like 85. I looked yesterday, and then dude, like a month before I bought the SD card, it was $30. Dude, they're so expensive. For us to get a terabyte, it's like $300, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so expensive for memory right now because
The auction's the way to go.
Bro, there's barely anything on there though. It's just because of the, what's it called?
What, tariffs?
No, the
AI.
the AI.
Data
Yeah,
centers?
yeah. Because their demand for memory and stuff has gone up. Same thing with like RAM, bro. Have you seen RAM?
Yeah, RAM's expensive.
Yeah, it's like stupid. I looked it up yesterday. I was trying to see like when the prices will come down. It said late 2027, bro, or mid 2028 is when they depict that the prices for memory will come down. Like, dude, are you freaking for real, dude?
Dude, I'm gonna need a terabyte of PlayStation, like storage to download GTA 6.
Well, like a normal, like something like that, I think would be fine.
No,
Like that's not gonna be that expensive. Like they're talking about like memory, such as like an SSD, like internal or external SSD, or like the camera stuff, because that's higher quality of memory.
PlayStation 5 terabyte.
If it's an SSD, which I think it probably will be, then that's gonna be a lot of money.
not that SSD.
I had a PS4 that was like 1 terabyte.
Listen, my computer has 4 terabytes on it,
Oh,
but
shoot.
3 of it is like, or I think 3 of it are like it's just normal
So
hardware that like it's a disk that it writes on. The other one, the only 1 terabyte I have is a SSD.
PlayStation 5 game drive.
I was finished this out, bro. So it's not.
Yeah, I
Black.
just want to answer this question though. I want to answer this question of how much it would be. So a 5 terabyte game drive from GameStop is $180.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's still a 2 terabyte is $140.
That's not even a solid state, bro. Solid states are really expensive right now.
Anyway, okay, are we gonna wrap up there? I feel like there's so much more we could talk about.
Probably is.
We didn't even ask any of the questions from, or like the ideas that I came up with.
Well, it's for the next podcast. Good thing there's more.
Are we
after
coming?
this.
Are we meeting up on Saturday?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
2 episodes coming at you guys.
What time do we have work on Saturday? 6 p.m.
6
Maybe it should
p.m.
be fun.
Wait,
6 p.m.
should we come earlier before work?
Yeah. What, you want to do it after work?
Because we're gonna go play volleyball.
Yeah.
You're gonna go?
What?
We're playing volleyball this Saturday for young adults.
There.
Sunset Park.
Oh, he goes to eat. He goes to eat with his family.
7 p.m.
7? I'll be done by 7.
Oh yeah.
It might be hot, so bring some water. They're going to have drinks and stuff, but it's going to be outside.
You should have
unfortunately.
saw me today at the job site.
Yeah. Cooking.
Drenched. Like that water bottle poured all over my head.
Welcome to blue collar work, buddy.
Nah. Thanks.
Hey, we're not
It's
blue collar,
terrible, bro. It's terrible during the summer. Wait, what did you say?
We're not blue collar, remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You guys are like a mixture
We're
of like,
white collar workers, I guess.
You're not white collar workers. You guys are like a baby blue collar worker.
What?
You're like a
You
mixture
know
of the two. Because you're not there
Bro,
full
if
time.
you're blue collar, bro, then we got to be blue collar, bro.
You're baby blue.
There's no way. There's no shot.
You're UNC blue.
Let's switch jobs for a hot minute. How about
Okay.
that?
I'm so down.
Your back's going to start hurting. Bah.
Your freaking feet are gonna start hurting. Your legs are gonna be dead.
From what, standing?
Yeah, that walking around.
Bro, what do you think we do to our job? I know we're not like really busy right now, but dude, we work like 18-hour days the other time when we're busy.
Your shoulders will start hurting from like
my
if you
God.
have to spool. I think if you're doing what we were doing today, your freaking
We're cooked.
fingers are gonna be
Broken.
yes, quite literally.
Dang.
It's not that bad when you're put on certain things, but what I was doing today, all day, or like if I was there all day, I probably would have quit. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Heard
Okay.
it again. You heard it again. What is it? Helix Electric. He's quitting.
I'm not quitting. Actually, I did talk to my bosses about like how much time I was going to be missing work for like my my wedding and stuff. Dude, I got so much crap for it. It was so
Who
crazy.
cares?
No, I don't care. I'm just saying that it's annoying.
Every job's gonna do that to you. Oh, you're taking off work?
Yeah, but my boss came out and he was like, he told my lead, he was like, Mert's missing the full month of August, like,
Oh, what the heck?
and I'm literally only missing like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's okay. You guys do not need me.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
Sorry guys.
sorry,
there's
we're
no
getting
video.
sidetracked.
There's no video too. Sorry.
Yeah.
My SSD
If
card.
you're listening to this right
And
now,
you want to ship us an SSD card?
we would be so grateful.
Yes. And a new camera. FX30 would be our preference.
Yep. A terabyte or more.
Donations. we'll put a link attached to our GoFundMe for.
We get the donations. We just never record another podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap
Yeah.
to the episode.
All right, Nicholas. I prayed in the last episode, and Alex prayed the episode
First
before
one,
that.
so I get
So it is your turn.
Let's go. Heavenly Father, thank you for a good time with these young men, Lord God. Thank you for the stories that you have given each of us and how it portrays your glory in different ways, Lord. we just thank you again for this time, for the opportunity to just speak publicly about you, Lord. And I just pray for the audience, God, that they will see their testimonies in a different way, God, in a new way that they haven't seen it before, God. And I just pray that we all just be open and bold with our testimonies, Lord, for your kingdom. And in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
One thing I want to add on is
No, the podcast is over, pa.
whoever's watching, if you have a testimony, say it. Like, talk to other people about it, speak about it. It's what God has done in your life, and that's very important for other people to hear, because God is good and they need to hear the good news and what God is doing in our lives as humans.
Very true.
That's not making it, bro. We said the podcast don't.
God is good. Later.
All right. Well,
Thank you, guys.
thank you for watching. Bye.
Camera's not on.
Cameras off.